traditionally in Australia, there was, back when I was a kid, the TAFE system as it is didn't exist. They were vocational education schools. They were arts institutes. They were people went and did their apprenticeships and things like that directly with the tradesmen, and so picked up their tickets, picked up their qualifications that way, did their apprenticeships through a system that has been around for hundreds of years. But not everybody who went through the schooling system was going to go into years 11 and 12. It used to be considered that years 11 and 12 were preparing people for a move into university and therefore into white-collar jobs after that. If you're going to go on to be a tradie or work vocationally, you'd generally stop after year 10 once you turn 16 and head off into the other institutes. The TAFE, Technical and Further Education, is what it stands for, system, at least in New South Wales, sort of came along and replaced those arts institutes and other systems and provided a more formalised training of vocational training. It provided a standardisation so that a welder being trained in an apprenticeship in one place would have the same skill set and the same quality of the ability to do the same welds to the same quality as a welder in another place. It provided more portability of jobs. So it wasn't a case of, I trained in this location, but another location considers all those people barely advanced Neanderthals, therefore you're unskilled. It allowed you to take a more consistent skill set out into the workplace. Now, each state had that individually for a while, and then eventually there was a push towards nationally accredited training and a nationally recognised progression syllabus system, training system sort of thing. I still forget the exact terminology used. I used to write syllabuses at one point. But eventually there was a graded system or a system that was created so that if you left school and went did a certificate level course, people would understand where a Cert 1 to 4 fit compared to a diploma, compared to a graduate diploma, to an advanced diploma, to a bachelor's degree, a master's, and doctorate and things like that. It provided a smooth a smooth progression in expected outcomes for people. And it also then meant that you could take your training interstate, you could take your certification interstate and prove to the state you were moving to the employers and stuff that, yep, you were capable of working at a given standard, at a given level of competency because you'd met those standards elsewhere and had them recognised. Now, there was obviously a big push for more people to go to university, moving to these high-paying jobs, etc., with the unfortunate effect that fewer people were going into trades. Of the people going into trades, a lot of them were heading into the mining sector because there was a lot of money in natural resources at the time. And so fly in, fly out workers and stuff, people who just qualified as tradesmen were, earning big bickies working in the mines, which meant that the availability to domestic services or even to industrial and commercial, people were struggling for that. But it's good to see, though, that we've now got, apparently there's a bit of a change, that not that university enrolments are declining, because the universities are also suffering. The ANU in particular is having a big set of upset people at their financial viability. They really got screwed around a bit in recent years, and so they're struggling to work out what to do with student numbers and delivery of services and research and everything else. They lost their way for a bit. And the declining rate of university entrances, well, that might reduce the entrance ranking required to get accepted into various courses, which will only further help make university further available to a broader range of students who can then attend the courses they might have wanted to do, as opposed to the ones that they're able to get on the course list for. But also, by going more people into vocational training systems and vocational training services, it means that people are entering the workforce quicker. It means that they're entering with appropriate certificates, trades, qualifications for the workplace they need. Not everybody needs to come out as a fully fledged professional engineer. There's still going to be technicians and tool and die makers and draftsmen, draftspeople, a whole wealth of infrastructure and support that enables the professional engineer to do their job, or that the professional engineer relies upon to deliver the outcomes. But to have those people, they need to go through their training systems, not necessarily all a university system. So it's interesting that it's down 22% from before COVID, which is quite a lot, which then obviously causes issues for the, if you lost, the domestic students, so if you lost 22% of your income in what should be a fairly stable year, you're going to look elsewhere to how to make that up. And if there's no foreign students coming in, usually full fee paying, your revenue streams are going to face a bit of a hit, quite a hit. But it is good to see people coming through these technical systems. Last set of tradies I was talking to, a couple of them had apprentices working for them. One of them had an apprentice that had started with them, but didn't realise the degree of physical labour required for that particular role, and so had quit. And others, some trades seem fairly well staffed. Others seem to be struggling for apprentices, and a lot of the tradies that currently work there are starting to age out. Plus, the number of tradies in a given region is also going to be, and availability is going to be influenced by what's happening. There's a lot of building work going on. Then the tradies tend to go that way more than maintenance and repairs elsewhere. It pays better, it's easier to do, better money, less work. So I don't blame them for that. But trying to get hold of a plumber when entire new suburbs are being built and plumbers are in demand there, it's, very, very difficult. So it's good to see this shift and increase of numbers. That's interesting. So TAFE enrolments in New South Wales, over 400,000 in end of 2024. The national domestic student enrolment in 2023 was 396,000. I didn't realise the numbers were that much different. But there's people go and do short courses and things like that. They're generally offered at a TAFE or a tech system, a tech college. Most states have a TAFE. I think Canberra's is called Canberra Institute of Technology, so Tech Institute. Never got to the TAFE system. But so programs, short courses, you can be qualified out and doing things sometimes in a matter of months. Generally more flexible to allow people to work while studying. So it's good to see